Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast Super Football Edition. Today, we got a Super Football podcast for you all. We are going to be talking college football, and we're going to be talking NFL. So, we got the football-speaking people of the L7C here. We got the captain, Byron Mitchell. How you doing today, sir?
Doing great. Had a great Christmas, so ready to talk some football.
We got the L7C founder, anime expert, Cedric Ware with us. How you doing today, sir?
Doing all right, sir. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Hope you had a good Christmas.
Yeah, smooth.
And then we got the head producer of the L7C, the betting expert, NFL expert, Mr. Justin Ackendale. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. Couldn't hear you for a little while because I didn't plug my headphones up all the way.
Hey, but you got them plugged in now. That's all that matters. So
yeah, we good now.
We do got a lot. There's a lot that's been going on in the football world since we've been gone, and there's a lot going on now that we're back. So we're going to backtrack a little bit, talk about some things that happened since our last recording, and then get straight into the college football playoff predictions, and then go from that into a whole bunch of NFL stuff because the NFL season is almost over, and the next time we come back with NFL stuff, it will be the playoffs. So while we were gone, the Heisman did happen. Our last podcast, we all predicted who was going to win, and we picked Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams did win. He won going away, total points 2,031. Second place was Max Duggan. Third place, CJ Stroud. Fourth, Stetson Bennett. Then Hooker in fifth, Bryce Young sixth, Blake Corum seventh, Penix 8, Robinson 9, Drake May 10. Byron, 6 weeks ago, this award was CJ Stroud's to lose, and then he lost it, and Caleb took it from him these last couple of weeks. Were you surprised at all of CJ not even finishing second?
I was. Max Duggan is a great quarterback. He's led TCU from behind 6 out of so many games. So I was surprised that CJ Stroud was third. He only got 37 first place votes, and Stetson Bennett got 36. But that was that was odd to me because I at least thought he would be second. Because he didn't entirely throw the Heisman away. He did have a poor performance against Michigan, which that game lost him the Heisman. But I didn't think he would be so far below Max Duggan.
Cedric, anything of the Heisman stuff that surprises you?
Not too much. Figured Caleb Williams would walk away with this kind of pretty easily. Dude's had an amazing year out in USC. I guess the one thing, like Byron said, is just how close it was between CJ and Stetson. But other than that, nothing really.
Justin, anything about the Heisman stuff surprise you?
Not really. CJ Stroud was kind of falling off towards the end of the year, and Max Duggan and Caleb Williams weren't. So I think that's why they were 1 and 2 in the Heisman vote.
Agreed. Even though I give this man a lot of crap, this is his third Heisman Trophy winner, as in Coach Lincoln Riley, Baker Mayfield 2017, Kyler 2018, and now Caleb 2022. And Jalen Hurts was a finalist when he was at Oklahoma. Caleb, 6th sophomore ever to win the award, 19th quarterback in the last 22 years to win the Heisman, and the 38th quarterback overall. So shout out to him. For the people that we talked about in our group messages, and I think on the last podcast, on why someone like Hooker and all of them didn't get invited, they actually just changed that rule last year. So 2021 to 22 season is where they made the rule that you can only invite 4 people. Prior to 2001, it literally just happened last year, went under the radar. Because prior to 2021, you can invite as many people as you wanted.
That makes sense now.
So that is why someone like Hayden Hooker, a lot of people are saying who should be in New York, we're not in New York because you can only invite 4. Hence why before the Heisman, they showed like the rankings 5 through 10. So just for that clarification for people. All right. So going from the Heisman, recruiting, national recruitment season. It's early sign-in time that just passed, but it's the new national day. The February day is just like picking up leftover recruits. But over here in Buckeye country, our great fan base was a little concerned because they didn't have a top 5 recruiting class, which I'm just going to ask you guys before I even go to some of the stuff. How much attention do you guys even care about like this early recruitment stuff? Like seeing the rankings of like, oh, this school is like number 3 nationally ranked recruiting class. Does that do anything for you guys?
Me personally, I don't pay much attention to recruitment until like right before the season starts, because we can pick people up along the way until the official season starts. So that's when I really start paying attention to it.
Justin?
Not really until they because it really don't matter until they sign that letter of intent. I mean, these kids can flip flop; they can do whatever they want until they sign the national letter of intent, and then you really don't know what you're getting. I mean, it kind of matters, but me personally, I don't follow it too closely.
Cedric?
I can't say I follow it truly at all. Honestly, similar to Justin, it doesn't really matter until one, you get there and you sign the letter of intent, but also with the transfer portal now, I don't hold any type of stock or longevity in the recruitment classes because that can always change no matter what. So,
yeah, I'm with you guys too. Before even the transfer portal, I really didn't care because it's like you can be a 5-star here and then you don't play and then you're gone in like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could be a 3-star and then get developed here at a big school and have like a 10-year career in the NFL. So, but it's a talking point for college football. Ohio State, and also there's like 5 million different sites. Like on 24/7 Sports, Ohio State's class currently is the number 6 class. I know people were up in arms because a quarterback flipped, but in all of these sites, a team we talked about 2 months ago, Alabama, number 1 recruiting class. When we said just watch next year when they come and kill everybody, be ready.
I guess Saban's activating his demon powers early.
We'll see if all those kids stay.
That is true too. We will see, because number 2 is Georgia. Number 3 on 24/7 Sports is Texas. Number 4 is Miami. Now I know all those people are going to leave because they suck. Number 5 is Oklahoma. 6 Ohio State. 7 LSU. 8 Notre Dame. 9 Tennessee. 10 Clemson. And if you want to know where our favorite school, well, mine on the L7C podcast, who used to always be in the top 10, Texas A&M, they're 13. You know, some of those recruits may know that Jimbo ain't long for this world.
they just know they ain't getting no NIL money as long as Jimbo's cashing in.
Oh, that is where we're going to be going to next. But yeah, mostly OSU people, because one quarterback flipped and they thought he flipped for Auburn. So they got up in arms about it, but we still got like the top wide receivers literally coming to the school.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we need. As Justin said a couple weeks on the last podcast, the team needs some toughness over there.
Yeah, they need defensive players. I'm on 3 right now looking at some of these players. I think you're talking about Brandon Ennis, the number 1 receiver. I'm scrolling down looking at some of these players. I see an inside linebacker, Luke Montgomery from Findlay, Ohio, another receiver, good defensive lineman. Yeah, I do see a lot of receivers though.
Hey, that's the power of Brian Hartline.
Mm-hmm.
But receivers don't play defense or make tackles unless we're throwing picks.
Right.
So, but no, it's just another thing. But again, we got to see him develop. Look at people like, CO2 was not a 5-star recruit.
He was not.
You get someone in college, you get someone in the right scheme, right coaches, and You can make a lot of money through starting up. Everyone here likes money. Everyone here likes having money. Everyone here recording right now is not rich. But the great state of Ohio State thinks their fans are rich. So Gene Smith comes out, and this is not a joke. He came out December 8th, so right before the Heisman, and stated that Ohio State fans, Justin is a supporter, so Byron, myself, Cedric, any other L7C OSU fans, we should be donating money to the NIL to help Buckeyes possibly shorten the recruitment gap. So Gene literally said that I know our fans are going to help. They're going to donate because they want us to be competitive. And yeah, so there have been some new ideas about having an NIL collective, like a Netflix type thing, where you're donating X amount a month to the NIL. You don't know which player it's going to. It just goes into a fund, but you're donating monthly. And that is where we are at. And potentially they might have prizes for you. In quotations. In quotations, if you get picked. But Justin, what do you think when you hear that Ohio State University is asking its fans to donate to NIL?
If we're being honest, that's fucking ridiculous. If you ask me, having your fans who are dishing out money for season tickets, buying merch, doing all this shit. I mean, shit, those Ohio State tickets are impossible to come by. And I'm on on3.com looking right now. The average NIL deal, according to them, for Ohio State is 103,000, and that's like in line with most of the top teams in the country. Texas is the highest in the top. Texas is the highest in the top 10 with 284,000 NIL average. But yeah, it's ridiculous. You need to go to the you can go to your boosters. You can go to the people who actually have money, who are actually probably already donating to the school if you want to get money on them. You can't ask the common fan who's already going broke just to go to the damn games to dish out NIL money for the athletes. That's ridiculous. How about Ohio State? You put them on the payroll. How about that?
Oh, well, that's a whole other conversation, Cedric.
I mean, that's a lot of money right there. I mean, there's like part of me that understands like the idea set, but it's like that. I agree with it's it's fucking ridiculous that you're gonna ask the average fan to pay, because like even if someone did like a monthly subscription to Ohio State NIL, like what does that even look like? Like again, we're talking about individuals, some people who don't even really donate to shit else, like. So you're going to try to hope that they bankroll your NIL money? Not to mention, like, my only question is, like, are you going to give them a tax write-off because you're donating to a public university? It's like, because y'all niggas making money already. As Justin said, like, people are buying merch, buying tickets, buying memorabilia, going all the way out to those games and everything. Like, what else do you fucking need? Like, the average person, no offense to players, average person makes more than all four of us.
That's what I was about to say, too, because no one here is working minimum wage out of the four of us, but the average person's making $100K. And I can say that with assurance, no four of us right now are making $100K.
Nope.
And they want us to donate to said person.
Before you keep going, out of the top 10 recruiting classes, Ohio State is fourth in an average NIL deal.
Oh, that's good.
Texas is one, Bama's two, Georgia is third, and who was the third team? Actually, OSU was third. Oklahoma's fourth.
Man, you got to hit him with that good old mom line. Well, you better make it enough. Shit.
So in regards to like boosters and stuff, because I do have to say, like, the schools with NIL, they can't pay them directly. And they also can't direct like the money that's going to the school to the players. So you could tell your boosters to stop donating to like the school and to the NIL if that's what you want to do.
No, they don't want to do that.
They don't want to do absolutely not. because NIL is going to those players. That booster money goes. We still have to winterize the shoe for these home playoff games potentially.
Mm.
They need money to build new buildings.
Yeah.
And new apartment buildings right on campus.
Mm-hmm. Byron, man, you're a passionate OSU fan, but
I
take your money very seriously. Would you sit there and this is OSU, so the minimum is probably going to be 50 to 100
a month?
There's no way they're doing like $7.
Bro, these niggas on trash.
Cedric, remember a couple on the third podcast of the year, Ryan Day came out and said we need $13 million a year.
Yeah.
At a dinner.
Yeah.
And he was dead serious.
I know he was. That sounds like a him problem.
I didn't know he was asking us for the money. Now we know he was asking us for the money.
Shit, bills need to be paid, Ryan. Looks like you need to start taking less money, maybe. I don't know. Y'all need to find the money somewhere.
And most of the fan base didn't even go to OSU. So they're asking motherfuckers to pay for the players and probably won't even accept their kids into the damn school.
Shit, I don't even donate to Capital. Those calls go straight to voicemail.
Facts.
Yeah, and you're just donating to like the collective thing too. So like if you're trying to get like a certain player, you might be donating that money and he goes somewhere else, and you don't get that money back.
Tragic.
Brian, what are you gonna do?
I'm not donating. Like I don't even donate to Capital. I went there for 4 years. Still got loans I need to pay off. No, but yeah, like Justin said, it's ridiculous that they're asking the fans for money. Like there has to be a way to generate more revenue for the NIL. I know maybe not a lot of players. I know there are some NIL deals that are worth millions, like CJ Stroud has a 1.2 million NIL deal. Maybe cut back on giving out millions of dollars to these players.
Nah, man, they can't do that. They got to do that. They got to keep these players happy. That nigga partnered with Canes, right?
Yeah, that was which Quinn too. Quinn Ewers was Canes. And then he sat on the bench that year, and they're like, "Yeah, we ain't paying you 1.2 million to sit on the bench. So
we got these chicken fingers to sell.
So you gotta figure something out." Because apparently, since Miami is up there, the reason is a Miami booster, Jean Ruiz, he pledged $10 million to Hurricane Athletics. You know, don't know who that man is, but
I don't know if he real or not. That sounds very fraudulent. I ain't gonna cap.
He's a real person. He's like this Miami billionaire. He's Cuban. Yeah, he's plugged into the school. He's basically trying to buy Miami back to where they were like 20 years ago.
He can keep trying their ass. So
I mean, he knows what type of people they need.
Well,
good criminals.
Oh my god, like the U documentary. But no, it's crazy that we've come to the point because Ryan said it would be estimated to be 13 million annually. Not even to recruit, to keep the current roster intact.
See, when you say shit like that, I know it is what it is, but it really doesn't even sound like the miniature. Like it sounds like the NFL. Like we need to keep the roster as it is. To keep the players we have, we need this much money.
I think Justin talked about that on a podcast on one of our college football ones that he popped in before this OSU Michigan stuff. How you ain't getting no playing time, all that stuff. It's different now. You could just leave and someone could offer you money and you're out of there.
Yep.
Yeah, but they need to do something because like this shit is honestly not sustainable. You can't turn over the roster every fucking year. Like it's just not sustainable. And when I'm talking about kids who not play, like there's examples like Alvin Kamara is a good example. He's like the fourth running back in at Alabama. He wasn't going to get no tick there. So like him transferring to Tennessee was probably like the best thing he's ever done. But like for every Alvin Kamara, you have a fucking Tate Martell. So
he's the poster.
It's just not a sustainable practice that like can keep going on. And either the NCAA needs to step in and make the schools come up with the extra money that's needed for the players, or I don't know, something. But like this shit ain't sustainable. But I'm gonna keep enjoying it while it is Wild West. I know that.
For more NIL stuff, so we won't go super into. Make sure you do listen to our NIL podcast. Wherever you listen to this, it'll be in the description box, and it'll be tagged on this if you listen to this on YouTube. So definitely check that out because we talked about NIL a lot on that, and it's gotten worse. since that podcast, but I don't know, Justin, you said something else. There's the atomic bomb option. Once Congress gets involved, it's hell.
Yeah, you don't want the government getting involved in this shit.
Because it's gonna get to that point.
Yeah, you don't want the government getting involved. That's just gonna slow everything down and shit. We might lose games. Like I don't know. I don't want Congress getting involved, because if the government gets involved, then what we're looking at could be totally different in the next 10 years. So we probably don't want Congress getting involved, and senators and congressmen.
You don't want people on their campaign. You want people to campaign on NIL.
They will. It's coming, Cedric. It's coming.
Coming in saying like, vote for me. I get our schools more money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's coming. You're in a football state. That is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Justin's like, man.
I'm just saying, this shit could be like easily like stopped if the schools just paid the players, like put them on payroll.
They don't want to pay for the health insurance, man. That's all it comes down to.
Figure that shit out. Outsource it. Do something. If you want to keep your fucking players for more than fucking a year and a half, then I think you should probably put them on the payroll. That'll give them a lot more incentive to stay if they have a guaranteed check, not a 1 year NIL check from like year to year. I mean, I don't know.
It's wild. We'll keep seeing how it goes with that, and it's going to be the story, especially once this offseason happens. Because now, I mean, that one quarterback from who was coming to Ohio State, he's like, oh, yeah, Washington had a better NIL package, but I know I can be developed for the NFL going to Ohio State. I'm like, Washington.
And see, it's just individual players like that. Like, you just don't know what these kids are looking for. Some kids can be in college trying to get money, so they're going to take the biggest NIL deal. Some of these players can be transferring to, like, you know, have a better chance in the NFL, so they're going to look for the coach or the program that's going to get them to that level. It's just so much different perspectives and so much different reasoning for these kids entering the transfer portal. And there's no rules to the shit, so it's just going to be a wild mess until you get some regulation and everyone gets on the same page with it.
Yeah, and as Justin said a couple podcasts ago, the cheating is legal now. So the cheating is legal. So everyone who's running circles around people, you know who was cheating better than anyone else.
Yeah.
Just saying. But we have the college football playoffs coming on this New Year's Eve, this Saturday, at time of recording. The first game is the TCU Horned Frogs versus the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan undefeated. TCU's only lost once, 4:00. Michigan's currently a 7.5 point favorite. Cedric, who you got in this one? TCU or Michigan?
And this is actually tough because I like TCU. Max Dugan's the truth. That man puts his heart and soul out there on the field. It's like, but I think Michigan will win. They show that they have a special toughness. I mean, like I said, TCU's no punk. They have heart. I feel like if the only way they can win is if they really shut down Michigan early. Like, I'm chalking up the OSU performance for McCarthy as just like a once in a lifetime type of deal. But you never know. If that dude goes off too, and those running backs get going, it's dangerous. They get down big.
Well, Blake is out for the year, so they only have
their backup who ran over.
Hey, hey, Brian. Well, listen, we're moving on to the future. All right, we ain't gonna worry about that.
You're right.
Okay.
I think Michigan can get it.
Okay. Justin?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup. Michigan likes to run the ball. I know Blake Corum's out, but Donovan Edwards can surely suffice. I don't see JJ McCarthy doing what he passing wise what he did against Ohio State, because quite frankly, he didn't do it all fucking year. And I feel like that was an anomaly, but I like Michigan here. I think they're going to be able to establish their run game. They got a big line. TCU is smaller. They haven't really dealt with a team as physical as Michigan. So if they're not able to adjust to that. It could get ugly. If Michigan gets a lead up on them, if it's a 14-0 game, Michigan's going to win the game. But the TCU's defense, if TCU can get up on Michigan and get them out of a run first mindset and get Michigan passing, the TCU got a shot. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Byron?
This one's tough for me to choose. Michigan is powerful. I mean, they've ran all over us. They've ran all over Penn State. So they can establish their running game. I feel like they're probably going to win because that's their best part of their offense is their run game. But I said I didn't trust JJ McCarthy, and he proved me wrong. So he might have another amazing game. But I've seen TCU come back from down too many times to just count them out. I want to pick TCU. You know what? I'm picking TCU. I don't care.
Okay. I was
Someone
thinking
gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean, if he was going to pick Michigan, I was going to pick TCU. So, but I do think with TCU though, they've been underestimated so many times this year, and for the betting people on Vegas Insider, they're 9-3 against the spread. And TCU's also beaten 5 ranked teams. I've never seen a college team beat 5 ranked teams in a year, and everyone thinks they're about to just get stomped.
And they were back-to-back ranked opponents too.
Yep, when they were all good, 18 Oklahoma, 19 Kansas, 8 Oklahoma State, 17 Kansas State. Their only loss is a field goal in OT to Kansas State. And Michigan's beat 2 ranked teams, shellacked Penn State and us, Ohio State, but...
My question is, can any of those teams that TCU beat Michigan?
Hell no.
No.
Well, beat or make it a game, because I think Kansas State is better than Illinois.
Yes.
Well, he said beat, so I'm saying
I said beat.
So I'm saying hell
I think
no.
Kansas State could.
Really?
Just because I think they're better than Illinois, and it took a game-winning field goal to beat Illinois.
Man, that was a trap game spot. Like that was just a spot right there. Can't. I just don't see.
You think they're better than Iowa? Iowa put 14 on Michigan. That's like putting 100 for Iowa. They put 14.
Iowa's defense is tough, boy. I think Iowa can give TCU some problems defensively. They can't fucking score a link, but goddamn it, like
hey, Iowa showed they can score against us.
That is. They need to go. They need to be sent to the SWAC. That's who Iowa needs to be sent.
What the black conference?
Yeah, they gotta go there and get tough. They gotta go there and get tough because they soft over there. Nepotism to the fullest over there too. If that man wasn't his son, his ass would have been on the street looking for a job.
Yes.
Well, he just wouldn't be the offensive coordinator. He'd be somewhere else in the training
He
set.
needs to go.
Defense can win you a lot of games, but when your offense can't get fucking a single touchdown, ask the Broncos. You won't win very many games.
We'll get to them. We'll get to them. But I would say that. But I would, man, because I'm just thinking like Max Duggan is better than McCarthy. So this is college. If you have the quarterback, you have the better quarterback.
Well, whose
things are
defense is better?
possible.
I just like Michigan better in the trenches. Like I like their O-line better and their defensive line better. I think they're going to win in the trenches, and if they don't, then it's an embarrassment to the fucking Big Ten, if you ask me. But I just think Michigan's going to dominate the trenches and be able to establish their run game. And if they do that, like TCU is fucked. Honestly, like they don't have too many paths to win the game.
That's true. I agree with this, but I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, man, is Michigan really that good from that 45-23, or are we suck?
I think that was more Ohio State being trash.
Yeah, we didn't.
No,
trash that day.
We did.
Trash that day,
trash.
not just trash.
We were trash that day. No sugarcoating.
We were trash that day. Yeah, we missed a lot of tackles that ended up being like 75-yard touchdowns.
Because Justin, man, TCU was fighting for their life every game. It was do or die. They kept prevailing.
I know. Like they're definitely in that sense. They're Minnesota Vikings. They're tough. You trust them in that spot, but those fucking one-score games. It's lucky sometimes. It comes down to one. It comes down to a fumble or an interception or a third down conversion that you didn't make, and all that shit went their way. All of it, all season long.
I said Max Dugan's the truth. When I saw that man run a 60-something yard and then run it into the end zone to the point where he about to pass out, no, don't celebrate with me. I need air. I was like, yo, that nigga got heart.
Max Dugan, that championship game, ran for 110 and threw for 251. And brought us.
I'm just saying some of TCU's good fortune of winning all those close games all damn year. It's going to come back and bite them.
I agree with you.
You just don't keep winning tight ass games like that all season long.
I agree. No, I agree with you guys. It's with the man. I just don't like people saying they're just going to get stomped. Like they're not going to fight back. Like, all right, when they thought Texas was going to beat them, I was like, that was disrespectful. I'm still on that game. But no, Michigan's going to win. Michigan will. Now, if Dugan starts the game with an 80-yard touchdown bomb, then.
And that's what I said. If TCU can get a lead, get Michigan out there, their run first mindset, then watch out.
Because I don't even think their wide receiver, Michigan's wide receivers aren't even just good. It's just Denzel Burke and the crew are ass. Their wide receivers weren't doing anything all year. It was the running back. Oh.
Again, man, we're into the future now.
That's true, man.
Those defensive backs know who they are. We got your names. We know who you are.
Well, those defensive backs do play the night game against the number one team in the country, the returning national champions, the Georgia Bulldogs, in Atlanta.
And Stenson Bennett, man.
He's
going to be the governor of Georgia in 10 years, bro. You heard it here first.
Oh, facts.
If he wins the title, they might change the rules. He might be as soon as he graduates.
Nah.
Because he ain't going. He's not going to the league.
If Herschel Walker can run for shit, then Stetson Bennett can too.
He's going to be Governor Bennett.
So
I'm thinking he's going to be a good accountant somewhere, though. He's going to handle people's money right.
I want to ask Cedric.
What's his major? I wonder if he's going to be a lawyer. He could be a good. I'm telling you, he can run Georgia. He's going to be running Georgia as a good Republican too.
You don't even know.
Oh no!
I want to ask Justin and Cedric this question. I actually asked Byron this when we were at the live event. As the typical fragile Ohio State fan mind, would you have rather wanted to play first? Because let's say Michigan does win, and those people are going to be some of them players. They're on their phones too much. Like, man, we're going to play Michigan in the championship. Would you rather just play first instead of see who you're going to play potentially?
If I was personally playing, I think I would.
I think
I would want to be the first game. I wouldn't want to be the night game. Actually, I don't know. It's fucking New Year's Eve. A lot of people going to be out.
Not in Columbus.
At 8 p.m. Shit.
Man, you say that now.
Well, they're going to be out of places where the TV is available.
But they're going to be out, bro. Come on now.
Those bars on the short end are going to be packed. And
bro,
drinks are going to be flowing. I think I would rather change my mind. I think I'd rather be playing in the night slot on New Year's Eve. Specifically because it's only New Year's Eve.
I'd stick in with first. I'd rather play first. Honestly, get it out of the way. Walking in just as focused, no nothing, true one game at a time mentality. I think that helps it. Because I don't know how you can avoid even thinking about, we win this one, this is who we're up against next.
And it would be Michigan. We win this, we play against. I don't like them knowing that.
I don't think if the coaching staff is doing their job, those players are not thinking about Michigan in the slightest.
Yeah, but you can't, even if they're doing their job, you can't help. But it to cross your mind at some point in time for a whole game. It's going to cross your mind. It's inevitable.
And Justin, they're going to promote the hell. They're already going to start promotions on ESPN. The Buckeyes 15 minutes away from playing their arch rival in the national championship game.
Yep.
So for the fans, that's going to suck. That's going to suck for all y'all niggas watching at home. I promise you, if that coaching staff is doing their job, they're going to be on that field worried about the number one team defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs.
They should.
They cannot overlook this team, or it's going to get fucking ugly.
Oh,
and Ryan Day told him that, and Justin Agnell just told him that right now on the L7C podcast.
Yeah, but they don't listen to that shit. They don't give a damn. They run their own hearts.
If they listened to us, they wouldn't have lost some of the games they did because they were out there doing stupid shit. But
I mean, if they listen to this podcast, they would have known Georgia's the truth, man.
Actually, I don't know. I do think. I mean, Byron, you were vocal about Kerry for a year.
I was.
And then his ass was gone after that. do we not put majors anymore on the roster? Like, what the hell is this?
Nah, I don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about that.
I didn't even look. I was supposed to, but I was trying to see Stetson Bennett's.
I know. I'm trying to.
Does it show his NIL amount? Does it show how much money he makes?
Advertise that shit.
That'd be funny. It's like, yeah, he rich, but don't worry about when he graduated. That's no concern for you.
Ohio State is also the 6.5 point underdog. So, what does Ohio State have to do to win this game? Actually, what does Ohio State need to do to compete in this game?
Defense. Especially our cornerbacks, because our cornerbacks are trash.
So the crazy thing is, like, and I'll say, like, if you can get to Stetson Bennett, that'd be great. I think Georgia's O-line is really fucking good as far as the country is concerned. But I just need them to cover, just stay in coverage, have your man at least be there to stop anything from a big gain, because that's how Georgia and a lot of their tough games blow people out early on. Is blown coverages, or that one guy that sets a bit is fucking throwing in double coverage, burns everyone, and goes into the end zone. Like, if you could prevent some of those big plays, and I understand the whole beginning is like, oh, we gotta give up some big plays, but if you could prevent some of those big plays, I think you keep yourself in the game, you keep yourself in the fight, you get an opportunity to let this offense kind of work. I am a little concerned with the whole running back situation, but I mean, it is what it is. You go in with what you got, next man up, got to play a game.
I think Ohio State needs to outscore them. I think that Ohio State needs to turn this game into a shootout by any means necessary. Ohio State's weak spot on defense is a secondary, and so is Georgia's. Other than that, Georgia is pretty damn hard at defense. So they need to get to those receivers early and often. Hopefully, Mayan Williams can play. Travion Henderson's out. They need to be able to keep them honest on the run game, but they need to outscore them, because I don't see them stopping Georgia on offense with those two tight ends, Brock Bowers and the big 6'8" black dude. Like,
Bowers
I don't see
number one tight end in the country.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to stop them. I don't know about the receivers, but those tight ends could give them some trouble. So they just need to outscore them. They just need to. C.J. Stroud needs to have a big game. Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Buka, Fleming, all of them. They just need to put up way more points and be way more efficient than they were against Michigan.
So
I think they got a shot.
My only thing with that, Justin, is just like, because I look at this stuff as like comparable matchup. We've not played a defensive line like Georgia's. That is bad.
Nope.
That is scary. However, statistically, and I know some people in Ohio would be mad about this, but statistically, Georgia played the number one offense by a long shot in the country, and they shut them the hell down in Tennessee when they were at full power.
Did. Yes, sir.
Yes, they did.
That was at home. But we all said Tennessee was.
I mean, this game's basically at home too for Georgia. Tennessee was not as sharp as they typically were. That game specifically, Hendon Hooker, he was missing a couple guys.
He was.
Jalen Hyatt was getting open. He was just missing. He was just missing. The Georgia got by too much, and it was too late after that. But there were some leaks in that secondary, and I think Ohio State can exploit that, and they're going to have to if they want to keep it close and then win this game.
But it's hard to get those leaks if you got them big 300-pound Georgia boys in your face.
Ohio State has a good offensive line. They should be able to block those boys. They just as big as Georgia.
They haven't played these.
It's not the TCU Michigan matchup where TCU's defense line is a total mismatch. I mean,
oh no, you're right.
Michigan's O line is a total mismatch against TCU's defensive line.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about the same dynamic in this game.
You're right.
So I think OSU should be able to hold up pass blocking wise against them. I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball. No. If they can, that's definitely going to help.
No.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's the same thing. Like Michigan, now we're in this game. Like, talent equates on both sides. So it's going to come to execution and coaching. And Kirby Smart, he was even talking about, I was like, hey, I was on that 2015 staff where we were overwhelming favorites against Ohio State when he was on the Alabama staff and we lost. So he already has a, like, hey, don't get cocky to his players, but Byron, what are you trying to see from this team, like, going against Georgia? Because like Justin said, this is basically an away game. This is in Atlanta.
Yeah, this is definitely a home game for Georgia. We know their fans are going to show up. We need our fans to show up, which I feel like they will. Second, we have to play like the most perfect game of the season because Georgia's defense is scary. Like, they're scary good. Like, I know their secondary is trash like our secondary, but that D line, if they can get to CJ Stroud and disrupt those passes, it's going to be a long game for us. So I would like to see us play like the most perfect game on offense and the most perfect game on defense. Like, this may be our last game of the season, so open up the playbook. I know there's probably plays that we haven't seen during the whole season, but now's the time to open that playbook. Maybe run some trick plays that Georgia hasn't seen before. But yeah, we got to play like the most perfect game of the season.
I would say we have the better quarterback, even though Heisman voting first place, whatever. And we have the better wide receiver. They have the better defensive line. They have the better tight ends. Now, when it comes down, it's your pick. One's a national champion, one's not. Begrudgingly, they have the better coach.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like, if you're just picking, like, who, like, this is, I know we're a 6.5 point underdog, but Ohio State could pull it out, or they could get their asses stomped. Because, like, we've talked about this team's toughness. If Georgia comes out 14-0 off the bat, I don't know. Yeah, the last time I saw this team in the playoffs, we gave up 50 plus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Against Alabama.
Man, I'm so sick of y'all breaking up that goddamn COVID year.
Bro, they went like 15.
I know it was the last time, but like, goddamn, we gotta give these niggas the benefit of the doubt on that year specifically.
So, do you want to go back then previously when 2 years when we got blanked one of the last 2 times?
Yeah, good 31 nothing
on New Year's Eve. You want to bring up that because that was on New Year's Eve.
I think that is more fair, even though Urban was still the coach. I think that's more fair than bringing up the COVID year. I do.
I mean, Justin,
still terrible performances either way.
Hey, one of your teams got a championship during COVID year, and that was the Lakers.
Hey, that's different.
What?
That's different.
What? Oh, no, the bubble.
These are professional athletes we talking about now. That's different. That shit is different. That was in the bubble under perfect basketball conditions. Perfect basketball conditions. That was some of the best basketball
conditions.
Just no crowd. That was some of the best ball I've seen, and y'all cannot deny it. Niggas were going off in the bubble.
If they played, yeah. A negative test, have to leave the bubble, can't come back.
Shout out to Lou Williams going to Magic City for some wings.
They weren't, bro.
Family was having to miss. What was it?
No family, no CDC, crowd. That shit was harder. I swear to God, it was.
CDC back then was what, 10 days?
Justin, but you're saying, but these college players who are motivated by fans getting pumped, they had no fans. Except for down.
I know that's not perfect. That's not perfect football conditions. You need some juice.
You had no
can't play football in an empty stadium. Like, it's just ass. It's like practice.
But it's execution. You saw who was focused and who wasn't.
I mean, what you really watched was nigga ball. Let's be real. Like that was fucking pickup basketball in the bubble.
Oh,
like
because
it was pure. Everyone was talking shit. People out here just still yelling at everybody. Like not even like come on, dog.
It was basketball in its realest state. It's grassroots. It's the playground. It's the streets. Oh, I want to go back to I wanted to do the playoffs in the bubble every year.
I mean, because that was the last time the Lakers won games was in the bubble. So
I'm a Cavs fan now. It doesn't matter.
Excuse me? When did this happen?
Right, yeah.
All right. Buckeyes, Georgia. Who are you picking? That's a whole.
I'm going Georgia. Pick with your heart, Byron. It's okay.
I'm going with Vegas. I'm going with Vegas. Now that spread is under a touchdown, I will go with Georgia to win and cover.
All right. Well, everyone knows my relationship with the Georgia Bulldogs. It's been a long time. I had to apologize.
Maybe this is your chance.
Oh,
it's your chance right here. God's gonna bless you some good karma.
Oh, well, hopefully it's reversed because ain't no way I am picking Ohio State because they looked like ass the last game and Georgia is scary. I am taking Georgia by a field goal. Now,
OSU covers.
Over, yeah, even though they've not done that on this podcast this season, but I think it's going to come down to a field goal. Kirby is a better coach than Ryan Day. That's all it's coming down to for me. Like, I feel like he's going to call the things right now. He's going to call the things, and we're not going to call the things. And I'm sorry, Denzel Burke's going to get called on a PI. We're going to give up a field goal and lose. That's how I see it.
It would be the most Denzel Burke thing.
Now, if we win, I'm going to be happy because I want us to win. But objectively, I think Georgia's going to win. Now, I hope we don't get smoked because I don't know if they're going to let Ryan fly back.
For real, I just hope it's honestly a good game. Like OSU just needs to show some pride. Honestly, for me, show some pride. Don't get your ass beat.
I can't end 2022 going into the Lord's Day on a Sunday on an ass whooping.
Oh, bro, you already know what's going to happen. The Osu's going to be back.
Oh,
if we get our asses kicked, Osu's going to be back. The Ohio State faithful going to be out here like, we need Ryan Day's job.
I don't know if he makes it. I don't think that as they say on first take, he fly it back on his money. I think they get smoked.
I will sit out the recap and let Mitch take my spot.
Fuck
if Ohio State.
Fuck no.
I'm gonna be on that recap.
Justin, don't make it sound like you giving up something good. Like you trying to avoid that shit.
Justin, why would you do that? Because
I will have to edit it. Yeah, what are you talking about? I'm not avoiding anything.
2 hours of him talking. We won't even get a word in.
Oh, it just wouldn't go out then. We'll just have to redo it. If
Justin is trying to be in the same podcast as him. That's all it is. This is when you hear Oso's voice and actually have to commentate on his ideas and thoughts.
We'll see. God forbid if they do win and they play. Now, if they lose to Michigan again, he really might be out.
Yeah.
Which is tragic to say that we would get rid of a dude who's lost like 5 times. But it is what it is. This is how the Columbus operates. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.